Hello everyone, a very warm good afternoon to one and all present over here. I am back again with a wonderful session of IELTS practice test, where today I am taking up the writing module for you all, where I'll be guiding how to solve the writing task 1 academic training questions and what are the strategies that you need to apply while solving this question type. Okay, so now without wasting any further time, come on, let me know that you guys are here and please mark your attendance on the comment section so that I get to know that you guys are here and excited for the session. Okay, so today I'm going to be dealing with writing task 1 question specifically for academic training. If you already know that we have two different kind of examination, which is general training and academic. For general training writing task 1, we usually get letter writing, but for academic task 1, we usually get bar graph, line graph, pie chart, which is report writing. Okay, so very good afternoon, Sharda, good afternoon Saish, I hope you're having a pleasant day. Yes, I am. Good afternoon Sumit. So welcome to this session and I hope you guys are doing great. Okay, now, so come on, let's get started. Let's understand first what are the topics I'll be covering. So initially, I'm going to be telling you how to solve a pie chart because this is what I'm going to deal with, and also read the question and definitely the solution at the end of the day because I'm here to solve. Ma'am, you're looking good today. Thank you so much for the compliment. Yes, ma'am, I have lots of questions. That's okay. You can ask question as much as you want. I don't have any problem with that. So yes, as of now, let's just get focused to this. Okay. Now, first of all, I would like to tell you what is a pie chart, how we are going to deal with it, and what are the things that we need to look upon while we are, solving this particular question type. Okay. So in IELTS writing task 1, as a pie chart is a visual representation of data in a form of circle divided into slices. Okay, that shows relative proportion or percentages. Okay, so basically pie chart, I know that you guys are having already, like, you've already solved it in your maths examination, right? Maths mein hota hai na pie chart, bar graph, line graph, like basically geometry mein we get it. Okay, so but it is not something like maths, it's entirely English. It's just that you need to take help of the numericals that are there, you need to take help of the units, you need to take help of the presentation. It's like whatever is there in the picture, you need to write it exactly what it is shown, right? So yes, this is what it is. So ma'am, what is pie chart? This is what I'm telling it to you, so just pay attention and listen to it. Okay, now each slice represents a category and the size of the slice is proportional to the value it represents, right? So pie chart is more of like pizza. Everyone like pizza out here, so it's more of like pizza. It's like circular but divided in slices, so it's like each and every slice tells different proportion of the different categories that is it is related to. Okay, it means English similar to maths. Yes, English is somewhat similar to maths according to me, because it's like in maths you cannot memorize things, similarly in English you cannot memorize things. And I'm not just very confined with English, but at the same time, if I talk about other languages as well, you can definitely not memorize anything with respect to any language, be it the vocabulary, be it the accent or the dialect or whatever is concerned with that particular language. So yes, somewhat English is similar to maths. Like in maths, we have certain rules and regulations to follow. Similarly, in English also, we have certain rules and regulations to follow. We've got a code of conduct. We've got structures that we need to follow. We have a particular section bifurcated into different sections. So yes, you can say that it's somewhat similar to maths. Ma'am, we can memorize formulas in maths. You can definitely, but the fact is, until and unless you're going to apply it, you're not going to get the flexibility that you're looking for. Similarly, it happens in English. So if you want to get that flexibility, like you don't want to be just confined to a single, set of numbers, then definitely you need to apply that formula in different set of numbers so that you get that flexibility, so that you can solve any question that's going to come on your way, right? Ma'am, can you speak something in British accent? I'm so sorry. I am not very much familiar with the British accent. So I am really not good at it. So this is something I would not like to do. So, Ma'am, yes, ma'am, you're good in maths. No, I'm not at all good in maths. I was an average student in maths. And so, yes, this is the reason I'm an English trainer. Anyways, now let me just focus on it. Okay. Now, key features. Data distribution. The pie chart shows how a whole is divided into different parts, typically using percentage or proportion. So, percentage and proportions are usually there in pie chart to show the various unit that you need to use at the time of, sharing up an information. Okay. Good afternoon, Anurag. Hope you're doing great. Okay, now the next one is comparison. It allows for easy comparison between different categories within a single chart or between multiple pie charts. Now, if I talk about from perspective of an IELTS examination, majorly you can get like one pie chart or maybe two, and max to max you're going to get 6 pie chart to compare. So it's really very important for you to be flexible with the language, just don't panic like, oh my god, there are 6 pie charts, how will I be able to, write about it? That's okay. You just need to know what needs to be presented at that time. See, when you've got a lot of things to cater to, right? So it becomes very, difficult for you to understand what needs to be presented and what not. At the same time, I would like to tell you that when you have very less data, you can explain more. But when you have a lot of data, go for the relevant idea and pick out the ones which are relevant and are playing a major role in the entire scenario, and then you can come up with that, right? Now, if I talk about the next one is static or dynamic data, you may encounter a pie chart showing data for one specific point of time, which is static, or changes over time, which is dynamic. So you need to make sure that whether the data that is provided, is it static, which means it is not changing, or dynamic, or which is like, or it is changing like vigorously, or, dynamically. Okay. Now, done. Noted. Clear about pie chart? What is pie chart? Okay, it's nothing but it's just a diagrammatic representation of different proportions and presentations that you're going to get. Okay, now let's talk about how we are going to deal with it when we are solving the particular type of question. Okay, so first of all, as I always say, that you need to make sure the very first thing that you need to do is read the question. One more thing I would like to tell you, if I talk about the format, okay, so if I be very focused, check it, format, okay. So what is the format? I have already told you. First one is going to be introduction. Second one is going to be overview. And third is going to be your body. Okay. So the first one is going to be your introduction. How you're going to write it, I have already told you. Ma'am, there are 2 black spots in the pie chart. Does that mean both are same? Okay, no, both are not same. Let me just allow me some time. I'll be explaining that to you as well. First of all, let's talk about the format as of now. So if I talk about the format, introduction, which is going to be nothing but paraphrasing of the question, right? Paraphrasing of the question, right? Now, if I talk about the next one, which is overview. Now, in order to write overview, it's really very important for you to be familiar with the diagram. If you're not familiar with the diagram, definitely you will not be able to write an overview. Okay, overview is an overall idea of the diagram, right? And definitely body feature is related to the detailed description . Detailed description about the diagram. Okay, ma'am, how will one identify if both are not same when both have the same color? Okay, just allow me a minute. I know, see, okay, you will never get a diagram where the two different features looks like same. Okay, so over here there might be possibility that there is a color, there's a problem of the color gradient or the pattern, right? Usually you're not gonna receive a question jahan pe aapko pata na chale ki whether these two things are same or different. Okay, so majorly either they use a lot of colors in order to bifurcate them, or they use a lot of pattern in order to bifurcate them. Okay, abhi as of now I'm going to be helping you in order to differentiate both of them, though both of them are not same, they are totally different features, right? Ye samajh aa gaya? Introduction, overview, body, and what are the things that you need to cater to, right? First. Now second, if I'm going to talk about is, the next one is going to be the reading of the question. Okay, how you're going to read the question? First of all, percentage of British students able to speak languages other than English. Okay, this is the percentage. The unit is already given. Make sure you look upon to the unit, because eventually you need to make you need to mark unit whenever you are making whenever you are writing the responses, and unit is very important for your clear presentation. ठीक है, ये हो गया. Other than English in 2000. So here the year bifurcation is there. This data is of 2000 and this data is of 2010. Okay, this data is of 2010. It means there is a 10 years of gap. It means eventually it means a decade gap, right? Is the question paper files color print or black and white? If it is printed in black and white, we cannot see color difference. Okay, so it's majorly in black and white. So if your paper is going to be in black and white, you're going to get bifurcation with respect to patterns then. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now, here are the categories, right? You can see the categories out here. Now, first of all is we can see no other language, which is in black color. Okay, so no other language is going to be this. Okay, this is no other language. Okay, now this is French only. You can see French only. The German ones, this is the German. Okay, and Spanish, this is Spanish only. Okay, this one is Spanish. Got it? Now I think you will be able to bifurcate. Another language. Okay, so this is another language and two other languages. This is two other languages. Got it? Clear? Now, here is what we can see is in 2000. So we can see majorly we can see 30% of people, 30% of the people or the students were able to speak Spanish, and here 20% of them are not able to speak any other language except English, which is going to be 1/5 of the entire pie chart. And again, if I go ahead, then we can see that German and what is this? German and two other languages. Okay, German and two other languages are in the same page, which is 10% and 10%. And if I talk about French only, which is 15%, and if I talk about another languages, which is also at 15%. Okay, this is what the pie chart is. Now, you can follow different methods of solving a particular question. Either you want to take up the clockwise method, or you can take up the anti-clockwise method. Also, you can take up, like for example, we can take up to the higher data to lower data, or lower data to higher data. Make sure whatever strategy you take, make sure whatever methods you take, whatever method you take up, it has to be clear in nature. अब ऐसा नहीं कि पहले इसको define किया, फिर इसको किया, फिर इसको कर रहे हैं, फिर इसको कर रहे हैं, and then इसको कर रहे हैं. Don't do that. ठीक है? If you are taking it from in an ascending order, take it nicely. If you're taking it like, in a form of descending order, take it nicely. Make sure however you are dealing with the question, eventually your answer needs to be clear and precise. समझ आ रहा है? Can we take Spanish as 30% and no other language as 20% and no other language as 30%? No, you cannot take. Just follow what I'm telling you, because I know the truth. Okay? So the fact is here Spanish is 30%, take Spanish as a 30% and no other language as 20%. Okay? Clear. Now, if I talk about the percentage of British students were able to speak language other than English, which is in 2010. So now this is the entire data and this is the entire data. What we are going to do, we are going to now compare between, we are going to do the comparison. Okay. Now what comparison we are going to be doing? You can see that now if I be very clear, ye hamara Spanish tha, right? Spanish. Okay. Spanish was 30% in 2000, to which it increased by 5% in 2010. Right now, if I talk about no other language, so I'm going in a descending order, like from a higher value of number to the lower value of number. Okay, so what I did is 30, 35, it increased to 5% in 2010. Then no other language, which was on 20%, to which it decreased. Okay, it was 20%, it decreased to 10% in 2010. So the people, or sorry, the students who were speaking no other language except English decreased by 10% in 2010. Moreover, if I'm gonna be very brief about it, okay, now here यहाँ पे क्या है, we've got like, what is this, German. Okay, if I talk about German, that it was at 10%, then again it remained at 10%, no change. Okay, what else didn't show any change? Okay, so we can see 15%, which is another language, to which it increased to 10% over here. Okay, and eventually it was 10%, to which it increased to 15%, like it increased by 5%. Right? I hope I've covered the entire data. One is left. Okay, Spanish, no other language, done. I think I've covered all. Okay. Again, I didn't understand all the percentages. Okay, but ma'am, when we solve the paper, we get answers to some questions first and not to some. We will do whatever comes first, or we will do it by numbers. Okay, so first I'm gonna answer Sayed's question. I'm gonna explain it to you again. No worries in that part. First, second, when we solve paper, we get answers to some question first and not to some. We will do whatever comes first, or we will do it by numbers. It's not about what you gonna do whatever comes first. It's about कि आपके सामने जो भी question है, you need to understand it first. Okay, so इसमें क्या होगा, basically you're gonna get 1 hour. तो होगा क्या, बहुत सारे, I know there are a lot of candidates who think that पहले हम writing task 2 कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद writing task 1 करेंगे. तो usually what happens, if you do not allocate your time properly, you're gonna end up आपको writing task 2 में 50 minutes लग जाएंगे, बाकी सिर्फ 10 minutes बचेंगे writing task 1 करने के लिए. This is really very important for you to allocate your time properly. अगर आपने proper allocation of time नहीं किया है, it's gonna be very difficult for you to understand eventually. ठीक है? Ma'am, can you please motivate us? I'm getting distracted from studies. Okay, so motivation is something that you need to have on a daily basis. So as a motivation, I can just only say that make sure you keep your ambition lively. Keep your ambition somewhere that you can have a quick look to that on a daily basis, what you want to become and where you want to go, right? So it's really very important for you to consider what all sorts of things your parents have done it for you. ठीक है, आपके मम्मी पापा ने कितनी मेहनत करी आपको यहाँ तक पहुंचाने के लिए. At the same time, what you can provide them, they are not expecting anything from you, just good marks and your better career, which is in your hands totally. They can provide you, they can help you, they can motivate you, but they cannot study in place of you. So what you need to make sure is you need to respect your parents' effort and you need to study accordingly, so that you do not demotivate them. Don't think about the society, don't think about any other person. No one is concerned for you at the end of the day. It's only and only your parents. उनके अलावा आपके लिए कोई concern नहीं होता है, सिर्फ parents concern होते हैं. ठीक है, सिर्फ उन्हें ही पड़ी रहती है आप क्या कर रहे हो, आप सही हो नहीं हो, खाना खा रहे हो नहीं खा रहे हो. They are the one who care. No one else cares about you, right? So keep this in mind. Sure, take it. Okay, चलो, ये तो हो गई, like we have done the entire reading of the question. Now what we are going to do, we are going to solve it. ठीक है, take it. Done. Taking the screenshot. I think now it's clear. You can take a screenshot again if you want to. Okay, done? Fair enough. Now, चलो ये हो गया क्वेश्चन हमारा. सबसे पहले क्या करना है? What you need to do is write an introduction, right? Now, how are you going to write an introduction? What did I say? Your introduction is going to be the entire paraphrasing of the question. Now, what is the question out here? Let's see. The chart below show the proportions of British students at one university in England who were able to speak other languages in addition to English in 2000 and 2010. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant. This is your entire question जिसको आपको paraphrase करना है. Got it? Again, the charts below show the proportion of British students. It shows the proportion of a British student at one university, which is in England, who were able to speak other languages in addition to English. With English, they were able to speak other languages as well in 2000 and 2010. Got it? Fair enough. Now, summarize. You have to summarize the information and select by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant. Now, let's get started with the paraphrasing. First of all, you need to have a quick look the charts below. Always remember that below word is not going to get added to your response, because definitely you're not going to be provided with eventually when you're writing the answer, your diagram will not be there. So make sure you write it in a certain manner that कि अगर diagram ना भी हो in front of the examiner, he will able to read, or whosoever the person is concerned, they will be able to read it and understand it even the diagram is not there. ठीक है? तो ये चीज it's very important. Make sure below word is not going to be there, so you're going to cut it down. The chart, so they majorly usually होता है कि in this time kind of question, in writing task 1 kind of a question, they don't usually give the name of the chart. ठीक है? They say chart or they say the picture or the pictorial representation, whatever they're going to say, but majorly ऐसा होता है, कभी कभी they're going to mention the name of the chart as well, but majorly they do not, right? Okay, so yes, so majorly they do not. So what you need to do, you need to be precise. Precise matlab clear rakhna hai. So you need to mention what kind of chart you are dealing with. So what you've written it, the chart below shows. Below हमने हटा दिया, we have to write the chart. So what I'm going to write? What did I do? The provided pie chart, because we have two charts, right? So we are going to write, okay, the provided pie charts illustrate, show लिखा है, show का हमने क्या कर दिया, illustrate the proportion of British students. So instead of writing a proportion, you can write ratio, you can write percentage, you can write any other unit that is familiar to what's written over there. ठीक है? What is the difference between pop quiz and normal quiz? Being very honest, I don't have any idea what's the difference between pop quiz and normal quiz. How to make leakage sentence? Could you please elaborate on what you mean by leakage sentence? Then I'll be able to explain it to you. Harpreet, right? Chalo. Now, so what did I write? The provided pie chart illustrate about what? Illustrate the proportion. ठीक है? तो हमने क्या करा? Illustrate The percentage of British students. With English, to speak other language, and in addition to English in 2000 and 2010. This is your entire introduction. Okay? Have a quick look and let me know clear if it is clear or not. Come on, be quick. The provided pie charts illustrates the percentage. Okay. You're not telling me that I didn't, that the ki spelling galat hai. The provided pie chart illustrates the percentage of British students at an English university capable of speaking various other languages with English in 2000 and 2010. Clear hai? Any doubt? Come on, be quick. I cannot see any comments out here. It's clear? Now, we are going to write the overview. Okay? For overview, as we have already read the diagram, we are going to execute it over here now. Now, come on. Here, we have read the overall scenario. Okay? Overview, I have usually told you that you are not going to mention the numerical aspect of the diagram, right? You are not going to mention the numerical aspect of the diagram. उसका मतलब है कि आप numerical proportions को overview में नहीं mention करेंगे. Keep them for the body. Keep them for the features and body paragraph. So what you are going to do is you are going to just write which is the highest data and which is the lowest data. When I say that highest data and lowest data, आप देखोगे one of the most highly spoken language is Spanish over here, right? And one of the least spoken language was German, right? So this is what you need to mention. Which one is the highest spoken language and which one is the lowest spoken language. That's all. And rest of the language that has shown certain fluctuations. Got it? So yes, let's write it. It's really important to write overall because overall will be working as an opening statement to your response. Overall एक idea दे देता है, एक indication दे देता है to the examiner that now you are starting off with the overview of your diagram, right? Now, good. Always remember, whenever you are writing the name of the language, whenever you're writing a name of a proper noun, whenever you're writing a name of a person or a country, it has to be in capital letter. The first initials are going to be in capital letter. Okay? Fine. Got it? Now, So this is the reason I have kept S capital in Spanish. Clear? Overall, in both pie chart, it can be seen that the most spoken language is Spanish, right? Got it? Okay. Hold on, ma'am. Does this include calculation of percentages also? Um, okay. So it depends. Like whenever you are presenting the numerical value, ठीक है? जैसे not every time जैसे 10% है 10 से 20 हुआ, ठीक है? तो वो 10 से 20 में जो difference आया वो 10% का आया. If you are able to calculate them or you are good at calculation कि कितना difference आ रहा है between the change in the 2 years. If you are good at that, you can mention it. But if you are not good at that, do not waste your time in calculating the percentage. Calculation पे आपको कुछ marks नहीं मिल रहा है, right? The only bands or the marks that you are getting is on how you present it. आपको सारा का सारा bands मिल रहा है presentation पे, the way you are writing, the way you are presenting the thing, the way like the clarity you are having in your response, ठीक है? उस पे bands मिल रहा है. So it's not always necessary that आप उसको calculate करके percentage लिखो, ठीक है? In place of British student, we write UK student. हाँ, you can write UK student. That's totally fine. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Like you can write England students as well because question में जो दिया है, कभी-कभी if you want to paraphrase it, make sure आप बहुत ज़्यादा question से rely करें so that आपका जो रिस्पॉन्स है whatever the data you're presenting is not considered as wrong. ठीक है? तो that is something that I would like to take care of. Okay? Can we also write the name of the language in the introduction? Yes, you can also write the name of the language in the introduction part. Like जहाँ पे it's written other languages. So instead of writing other languages, you can, if you want to elaborate them, elaborate the number of languages spoken, you can write it over here. कोई issue नहीं है. You can write that as well. No doubt in that part. ठीक है? मैम दिवाली को हॉलीडे होगा बेटा, पहले अब इसको पढ़ लो, फिर दिवाली की जो हॉलीडेज है आई विल बी ब्रीफिंग इट अप टू यू. ठीक है? स्पीकिंग में प्रॉब्लम है, देन हाउ कैन डू गुड स्पीकिंग efficiency in English. Okay, Nitin, I would like to tell you that if you're not good at speaking, what you can do is try practice it. किसी चीज को if you want to be proficient in that, the only thing that you can do is practice. So practice कैसे करना है? सबसे पहले तो focus on the words that you already know. बहुत बारी ऐसा होता है that there are lots of words that we already know but we do not use them. Rather we focus and we run after those words जो हमें नहीं पता है. We run after learning those words. Don't do that. ठीक है? Whatever you know, just take a pen and paper, write down all the words that you already know and try and make sentences. If you don't want to make sentence, I know that's going to be very childish, but still if you want to add, you can add them into your daily conversation. वो जितने भी words आपने लिखे हैं, because if you have written those words, don't Google it. Just don't take support of Google every time you're gonna learn new things. Just don't do that. The moment you're gonna write those words into the notebook, write them, it means you know the meaning of them, right? Try to apply those words into your normal conversation, right? This is something that's going to be very helpful. I have also done it. So, I'm going to tell you all those strategies that has worked for me. Honestly speaking, for me, speaking in front of the mirror never worked. Okay, so definitely I'm not going to recommend that. For whom, like, it might have worked, like they're going to be recommending you as well, but I'm not going to recommend it because रात में उठ के 2-3 बजे when you are studying late night and mirror के सामने उठ के बोलने लगो, and that's very creepy and scary at the same time, right? Don't do that. So what you can do is think about things. If you're thinking something continuously 24/7, दिमाग में कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहता है, so think it in English. You're talking to someone, think how you can reply to them in English. Think, inculcate these habits into your day-to-day activity. I think that's how you're going to learn more. I hope this helps, right? Ma'am, how to start describing the pie chart, like how to start the paragraph, and also how okay, how to start the paragraph. How to start the paragraph? You mean body? अभी बताऊंगी ना मैं. Also how to end the writing. Okay. राइटिंग टास्क 1 जब भी आप डील करो तो वहां पे एंड आप बॉडी से ही करोगे, बिकॉज हम कंक्लूजन नहीं लिख रहे हैं फॉर अ रीजन, बिकॉज हमने ऑलरेडी ओवरऑल लिख रखा है. बट एट द सेम टाइम अगर मैं राइटिंग टास्क 2 की बात करूं, वहां पे इट्स रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू राइट कंक्लूजन, बिकॉज वहां पे हम कोई ओवरऑल नहीं लिखते हैं, इट्स अ जनरल टॉपिक, तो वहां पे हम उसको कंक्लूजन से एंड करते हैं, राइट? क्लियर? Now, done? If you want to take a quick screenshot, take it and let me know. Done? Chalo. Move ahead. Let's move ahead. Can I write exam with pen? You can write exam with pen, but I had this real life experience. Let me share it with you. There was one of my student who has written the entire examination with pen, but अब ऐसा तो होता नहीं है कि यू हैव स्टार्टेड राइटिंग इट विद पेन, आप मिस्टेक्स नहीं करोगे. यू आर गोइंग टू मेक मिस्टेक्स सम और द अदर वे, एंड स्पेशली व्हेन यू आर नॉट रेडी फॉर समथिंग. रेडी फॉर समथिंग का मतलब है कि नो डाउट हाउ वेल प्रिपेयर्ड यू आर, but at the same time you're gonna focus and analyze and channelize all your strategy depending upon the question you're gonna get. तो question आपको पता नहीं है क्या मिलने वाला है, तो it's better to write with pencil. Pencil is erasable in nature. आप pencil erase कर सकते हो, and make sure you use good pencil, like which is darker in nature. Okay, so the dark pencil होते हैं which we usually use for sketching and all that. So उससे आप क्या होता है कि आपकी writing भी clear रहती है, आप erase भी कर सकते हो. कभी कभी there is going to be time जहाँ पे आपको पूरी line erase करनी पड़ सकती है, या पूरी like paragraph erase करना पड़ सकता है, being very honest. ठीक है, होता है ऐसा examination में, and that's not something that I'm telling you a new thing. ठीक है, उसके लिए instead of, because if you're going to use pen, definitely you have to cut it down, and कहीं पे भी अगर untidiness दिखी examiner को, या कहीं पे भी उसे effort लगाना पड़ रहा है समझने के लिए, he is not going to put any effort in order to understand what you have written. It's better to use pencil instead of pen. So this is the reason why I ask you. Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm doing masters at the National Institute of Technology, Rangal. Here, I'm facing problem and I want to do PhD from abroad. So I ask, thank you. That's great, amazing. So all the very best for your future. And if you want to improve, so it depends. Like if you're studying in college right now, so you can just talk to your friends. I know friends are not that good partners to talk to them in English. I know they are going to make fun of you, but still you can just practice it on your own as well. Okay, so it's really very important. First of all, know what you already know exactly. So write the words down, use them into your daily, conversation. Talk to a person in English if possible. If you have anyone who can talk to you without judging you or without making you feel dumb, that's great thing. Or else you can also write it in the comment section, whatever you feel like, and make sure majorly you take English into consideration. Okay? Cursive writing is allowed in IELTS. Any kind of writing is allowed in IELTS till the time it is clear. So it's not like there is certain writing pattern it is allowed or not. अगर आप cursive writing भी लिख रहे हो, make sure that cursive writing is clear. वो U and W and everything, so इट्स समथिंग विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. वो यू को डब्ल्यू वी एवरीथिंग अगर आप उसको क्लियरली लिख पा रहे हो, गो अहेड विद दैट. ओके. राइट टू राइट 10-year पीरियड इन ओवरऑल. हाँ, इट इज राइट टू राइट 10-year पीरियड. ओवरऑल डेटा दे रहे हो ना, तो इट इज ओके. यू कैन राइट 1 decade इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट. 1 decade इज इक्वल टू अ पीरियड ऑफ 10 year. So if you can write 1 decade, if you can write 10 years, whatever you feel like you can write. ठीक है. Okay, ma'am, I'm also studying in college, but unfortunately the college is Hindi medium and no one knows English. That's well, how can I improve? So if your college is Hindi medium and everyone barely speaks in English, then make sure you focus on yourself. I know it's really do not just get very much involved to the Hindi curriculum if you really want to improve yourself in English, because environment is also very important, and your action on the same and your action on what you need to learn is also very important. So take that into consideration. Okay. Done. Using template is good or not? Mitesh, see, you are dealing with English proficiency exam. Template को यूज करना इज लाइक वही बात हो गई कि आप इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज या मैथ्स वाली बात हो गई ना, कि जैसे अगर मैंने बता दिया कि यहाँ पे आप बोर्ड मास यूज करोगे इन दैट पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन टाइप में, अगर आप बोर्ड मास यूज करोगे तो आप सिर्फ वही क्वेश्चन टाइप सॉल्व कर पाओगे. उसके बाद अगर मैं हल्का सा भी नंबर चेंज कर दूंगी, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू सॉल्व इट. राइट. एग्जामिनेशन में आइल्स के एग्जामिनेशन में योर फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इज बीइंग टेस्टेड. तो आप फ्लेक्सिबल कैसे हो? यू शुड बी हैविंग कंट्रोल ऑन योर लैंग्वेज. कि अगर मुझे फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आई हैव गॉट प्रिपेयर्ड माई सेल्फ फॉर होम टाउन वाला क्वेश्चन कि टेल मी समथिंग अबाउट योर होम टाउन, एंड फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मेरे से एग्जामिनर ने पूछ लिया व्हाई डू पीपल वेयर विग्स, तो हाउ विल आई बी एबल टू स्विच टू लाइक दिस इमेंस क्वेश्चन टाइप. तो वहां पे यू नीड टू बी वेरी श्योर कि आप अपनी लैंग्वेज को कैसे कंट्रोल कर रहे हो. टेम्पलेट इज जस्ट अ वे कि आपने रट लिया एंड रट के एग्जामिनेशन में लिख दिया. राइट. दैट इज समथिंग नॉट गुड, आई गेस. Okay, so for according to me, using a template is should be never an option. आप majorly आप जैसे लिखो, however you are practicing, if you are practicing, you are facing problem, you are making grammatical errors, ठीक है, even that is okay, but using a template is not okay. Okay, until and unless you are very good at memorizing things. आप template use कर रहे हो, आप लिख रहे हो, what if you forget the template in the middle of the examination, क्या करोगे फिर? बिकॉज आपके पास तो वहां पे लैंग्वेज भी नहीं है और फिर आप टेम्पलेट भी भूल चुके हो, तो यू आर गोइंग टू बी स्टैंड नोवेयर देन. तो इट्स रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. मैम व्हाट इज टेम्पलेट? ओके, टेम्पलेट इज बेसिकली एक जो स्ट्रक्चराइज फॉर्म होता है. जैसे हमने क्या करा कि टेम्पलेट ऐसा होता है कि वहां पे सारी चीजें ऑलरेडी लिखी होती है. इट्स जस्ट दैट यू नीड टू रिप्लेस सम वर्ड्स विद द टॉपिक दैट इज बीन अलाइन टू यू. बस यही होता है. तो इसके लिए आपको आपकी रटने की क्षमता बहुत ज्यादा अच्छी होनी चाहिए. इफ यू आर गुड एट दैट, इफ यू प्रेफर दैट, fair enough, go ahead with that. But I think English is something, and especially IELTS examination is something जहाँ पे you can enhance yourself, you can boost your English proficiency level, and that's what I'm gonna recommend you at the end of the day. ठीक है, शुरू करें. चलो. So what can we see? सबसे पहले यहाँ पे आओ, स्पेनिश से शुरू करते हैं. ठीक है, हमारे पास क्या है, ये 30-35% है. ओके, सबसे पहले हमने क्या किया, स्पेनिश से शुरू किया. ये है हमारा स्पेनिश इधर और ये यहाँ पे है. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले हम क्या करेंगे, मेक श्योर ऑलवेज रिमेंबर टू कीप द फर्स्ट ईयर फर्स्ट. फर्स्ट ईयर फर्स्ट का मतलब जो पहला ईयर है उसको हमेशा पहले रखना, एंड जो दूसरा ईयर है उसको उससे कंपेयर करना है. राइट. सो व्हाट वी आर हैविंग 2000. सो व्हाट वी कैन सी, इनिशियली वी हैव स्पेनिश एट 30%, टू विच इट इंक्रीज्ड बाय 5% इन 2010. यही है. चलो ठीक है. नाउ what did I do? I just mentioned each and every information that was there in the diagram 1. क्या था? सबसे पहले हमारे पास परसेंटेज हमने लगा दिया. ठीक है, परसेंटेज ऑफ ब्रिटिश स्टूडेंट एबल टू स्पीक लैंग्वेजेस. तो यहाँ पे क्या था, हमारे पास स्पेनिश था 30% पे, हमने इसको 30% लिख दिया. कौन से ईयर में था? इट वाज इन द ईयर 2000. गॉट इट? क्लियर है? सारी चीजें मैंने लिख दी, ठीक है। नाउ अब यहां पे आएंगे ट्रांजिशन लेके। Whereas after 10 years, how you are going to show the transition? ठीक है, it's really very important to show the transition. फिर उसके बाद क्या लिखना है? क्लियर? इतना क्लियर है? क्या लिखा मैंने? Particularly, Spanish was at 30% in 2000, done. Whereas after 10 years, it increased by 5%, making it 35 in 2010. Done? किसी को कोई दिक्कत? Any problem? Clear है? I cannot see any comment. जल्दी बताओ. Done? Now, let's talk about the next thing. What have I written? Interestingly, 1/5 of the students were not able to speak any other languages except English. How did I write it? Clear है? I cannot see any comments. ठीक है? Here, no other language. How many of them can speak no other language? 20%, sorry, 20%. And here it is 10%. Okay, let me just write it. Right? In 2000. Got it? Make sure you mention year properly, year percentage mention करें, year mention करिए, so that you know clarity बनी रहे, because we have two data together, right? So it's really very important for you to mention the year properly. ठीक है? Now let's move ahead. Clear है इतना? Okay? Now अब यहाँ पे करेंगे comparison. कैसे करेंगे? अब because it was in 20%, तो मैंने क्या बोला? 1/5 of the percentage it was like no other language except English. अब हम इसको करेंगे compare, जो कि ये decrease हुआ था. कितना? 10% से decrease हुआ था, right? So what are we going to write? While this proportion, क्या लिखा मैंने? While this proportion saw a decline of कितना? 10%. 10% in which year? Done. दो डेटा कवर हो गया. कौन कौन सा? We are done with the Spanish. We are done with the Spanish and we are done with no other languages. The moment you complete it, when there are a lot of data together, the moment you complete it, start, removing them from the screen, so that screen or paper or whatever it is, so that you get to know what you are left with. इससे clarity बनी रहेगी for you as well. समझ में आ रही बात? ठीक है? Okay? Now, अब देखो यहाँ पे. It remained 10%. अच्छा, अब मुझे ये बताओ यहाँ पे, if you're gonna have a quick look, German. अब आते हैं German. German 10 पे था, यहाँ पे भी 10 पे है, right? It means it is same. Okay. It means अगर हम compare करें तो it was same over here as well. Okay? And same over here as well. अब आज उसको कैसे लिखेंगे? ठीक है? Which was the same proportion of German. ठीक है? Fair enough? Done? German and French. अब आ जाओ यहाँ पे. फ्रेंच 15% था, यहां पे कितना डिक्रीज हो गया? 10% पे, राइट? फ्रेंच. नाउ जर्मन एंड फ्रेंच लैंग्वेज. अब मैंने यहां पे बोला फ्रेंच, इट वाज सेम ओवर हियर इन 2010, बट इट वाज इंक्रीज्ड इन 2000, राइट? अब यहां पे हम करेंगे ऑन द कंट्रेरी, बिकॉज यहां पे कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन आ रहा है. अब हमारे पास कितने डेटा कवर हो गए हैं? फ्रेंच हो गया है, जर्मन हो गया है, राइट? नाउ व्हाट वी आर लेफ्ट विद? अनदर लैंग्वेज एंड 2 other languages. क्लियर है? While 5% had decreased in 2010. It is correct grammatically. Yes, it is correct grammatically. No doubt on that part. But आप had लगा रहे हो ना? You are using past perfect tense. मेक श्योर उसके पहले आप कोई पास्ट की एक्टिविटी प्रेजेंट करो, सो दैट ये सेंटेंस आपका एक्चुअली अलाइन करे टू द टेंस दैट यू आर यूजिंग. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, हमेशा याद रखना, वेन एवर यू आर यूजिंग टेंसेज इन IELTS एग्जामिनेशन, कोशिश करना कि उसको हमेशा सिंपल में रखा करो. ठीक है? अगर आप पास्ट टेंस यूज कर रहे हो, इफ यू आर यूजिंग पास्ट टेंस, देन मेक इट श्योर दैट यू आर यूजिंग सिंपल पास्ट. प्रेजेंट भी यूज करो, मेक इट सिंपल प्रेजेंट. फ्यूचर में यूज करो, मेक इट सिंपल प्रेजेंट. ठीक है? सो अंटिल, डेफिनेटली until and unless your scenario or your situation demands you to use any other structurization, make sure you use it in a simple way. I think this is clear. ठीक है? क्लियर है? बता दो जल्दी से. डन? नाउ अब क्या लिखना है? वी आर लेफ्ट विथ अनदर लैंग्वेज. ठीक है? डन? ओके, दिस इज ऑल्सो समथिंग वी आर डन, राइट? ओके, दिस इज व्हाट वी आर लेफ्ट विथ. ठीक है? एंड 2 other languages. ठीक है? सबसे पहले हमें क्या करना है? अगेन इतना मैंने लिख लिया. अब नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू चेंज द पैरा. मेक श्योर योर बॉडी बाइफिकेशन में पैरा चेंज करना इज रियली इंपॉर्टेंट, सो दैट यू गोना कम अप विद द एग्जैक्ट रिस्पॉन्स, सो दैट यू कैन कम अप विद द एग्जैक्ट क्लैरिटी. ठीक है? पैरा चेंज करना जरूरी है क्लैरिटी के लिए. चेंज कर देना, अदरवाइज सारा चीज एक पैरा में लिखना विल नॉट वर्क फॉर यू. यस. ठीक है? Simultaneously the students, okay, we are talking about the students. Simultaneously, the students speaking two other languages accounted for 15% in 15% in 2010, to which it was decreased already 10% in 2000. 10% in 2000. Done? And last but not the least, I'm talking about another languages. Okay? Another languages was at 15% and then it increased to 20%. Right? Done. Clear? देख लो. Done? This is how your entire answer is going to be. Clear? Chalo. Have a quick look. If you want to take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot even. And yes, that's all. So we are done with the introduction, the overview and the body para. Make sure the least amount of words that you need to write is 150. आपको उसको maintain करके रखना है. And the max you can write is like, it's totally up to you. It can be 250, it can be 300. But बहुत ज़्यादा आप लिखोगे, it's gonna, it's gonna be the cause of your irrelevancy. जो आप irrelevant data, you're gonna end up mentioning irrelevant data जो कि अच्छा नहीं होता है in your IELTS examination. आपके बैंड्स को डिग्रेड कर देगा, राइट. सो इट्स रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप पहले 150 मैच कर लो, उसके बाद यू गोना थिंक अबाउट, अगर आपको लग रहा है कि यू आर स्टिल लेफ्ट विद द रेलेवेंट पीस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन टू बी मेंशन्ड, देन गो अहेड विद दैट. ठीक है, चलो. Yep. So yes, thank you so much for having thank you so much for being here. Thanks a lot for listening and thanks a lot for all the questions, and keep on practicing, keep on learning. We'll see you in the next session. Bye bye, take care, and all the very best to the students who are preparing for their IELTS examination.